Alright, I'm back with Xanathar Guild Kingpin. Kind of a cool guy. I like the steal your opponent's cards thing. Um, so yeah, it's like Siphon Insight and all that. You play your opponent's cards off the top of their deck, and during your turn, they can't place spells, I guess. So it's kind of like a built-in silence, so they can't like disrupt you. Kind of a weird side ability, but either way, I think it's pretty cool. Thief of Sanity, in certain matchups, if it goes unanswered and it comes in on turn 3, can kind of just completely solo your opponent. It's been a long time since I've seen that, though. It was in Standard like that. Key to the Archive, because it can find... It almost always finds something halfway decent, not necessarily just Approach the Second Sun. I dropped my hair pick. I'm running 3 of the Frogify effects. This one, and there's a third one, this one. Just to really mess up some of those super early planeswalkers that you don't really enjoy continuously answering, so it's nice to just make it a 1-1 that's useless, or a 0-1 sometimes. 3 is a little expensive, especially with counterspells, but hey, we're gonna try. What else? Anything fancy? I'm running this guy. It's pretty cool. He hasn't done anything, and my phone goes off. Let's see, anything else? Nope, that's about it. Regular control cards, wash away, stuff like that. Tail's End, countering your opponent's commanders. And yeah, let's see how we do. How many lands do we have? Let me just point it out. I have 35 lands plus a couple of the flip cards that I haven't counted, so it's above 33, which is my average. So I'm already better off than I usually am. I'm still working on that. It's like an addiction to not run as many lands as you quote-unquote should. I believe 35 is a solid number, alright? Oh yeah, like and subscribe, right? Yeah, I gotta say that. And if I don't see you guys before New Year's, everyone have a good one. Don't know what I'm doing for New Year's, actually. No idea. It's weird. My phone doesn't go off all day. And then 2 seconds, I hit stream. And then my phone goes off. Huh. Weird. And no, it's not my phone notifying me I went live. I'm not a boomer. Well, not yet. I'm probably a boomer. Okay, Yarok. No blue mana. We have a Thoughtseize. I like turn 1 Thoughtseize. I mean, there's a chance to just scoop to it, right? We'll see. Probably not, but... Alright, Casualties of War is ways away. There's no creatures in our deck really for it to hit. It's mostly just like a land and some random permanent I toss into play. The rest of their hand is poop, so I'll just take this. Alright. I can foretell it. Let's see. 1, 2, 10 cards. Still average. Okay, now we're a little under average. I'm going to cycle this. Land, please. Thank you. Alright. Average complete. There we did. 1 in 3. 1 in 3, your cards being land is kind of where you want to be. So that's pretty cool. Alright. Opponent plays the... This is the... Gets a single one, right? Yeah. It's like the rampant growth thing. Alright, so we leave up magic cards, or do we cast magic cards on our own turn? We probably leave up magic cards. Don't see why I wouldn't. Opponent respects absolutely nothing, which I can... Oh! Right, I don't have the mana for that. Alright, we'll do this one. Double blue. We can take 3 damage a turn for a very long time and not really care. Kind of want to cast this, but I guess I can't. No, I can. I can Baleful for 2 mana. I think I should actually cast this. I think it's kind of important. Our opponent could just blow it up, but I think that's totally fine. They just cast... Yeah, this actually works out really nice, because then I can just run this out instead. Get a land, hopefully. That's not great here at all. No, it's not great. Could have cast that on my own turn to hit a land. Maybe that was better. Alright, 4 mana. Are we okay with leaving that up? Do we play a tap land? Probably. Yeah. Alright. No. And then we can pass. Continuously denying Yarok in play is pretty decent. We are getting hit a little bit now, though. Guardian Project will be annoying, and I'd like to just kind of counter anything to just surveil. Hostage Taker. Yeah, it dies to that, and I don't have time to tap out and cast it, because then it gets hit by, like, Casualties of War and stuff. Okay, so... play an untapped land, because Discover the Formula is pretty decent. I've only cast the card once. My opponent's actually playing at a reasonable pace, which is extremely uncommon. We're going to let that slide, because they can't do anything in the same turn cycle. Chance we find a sweeper. We kind of did find a sweeper. It means I have to defend it, which I cannot. So I guess I'll cast the real one. Yeah. It's a little too reckless to not do that. So let's do that. Let's do that. I don't see a reason to put this into play, but I also don't see a reason not to put it in play. And I'll probably end up cycling this land. It seems a little ridiculous to play a bunch of permanent types in the same turn. My opponent will probably Casualties of War, and I obviously don't care if they just blow up a land for 6 mana. This 2/3 isn't doing anything. Kogla. Wow. Alright. I'm going to try to do my best to deny them cards, so I will not Baleful Mastery unless I can pay the fancy bit of it. And I don't have a land drop for next turn, so I'm not going to cycle. So we're going to deal with this for 3 mana to make sure I don't mess this up. And this costs 4, so I can flash it in. And I probably will. Alright, eventually our opponent will stop playing things. This is an instant, but they tapped both their black. So this is pretty much the only time I'll get this to do anything. So I'm going to do it now. They have to block, so I got something out of it, technically. I could try to defend it, but it seems a little reckless to do so. Let's see, they have 6. If I do put the counter on it, it means they can't commit any permanents to the board creatures. I could play out another creature and separate their Casualties of War. I actually like that a lot. Let's do that. And then leave up Thassa's Intervention. How greedy do I get? I think we get max greedy. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So they have countless answers, but I guess that's better than the alternative. Alright, that's fine. I kind of want to play this, but it's not doing much when I do. I'd prefer to bait out Casualties of War so Imbolus' Clutches doesn't get hit by it. So I suppose I can just play a different enchantment and incentivize them to play it at some point. Seems reasonable enough. Or I could just take it. Oh, maybe Frogify is good too, actually. Maybe those both good. Maybe they're decent. Maybe they're decent. So we take... They have Massacre Worm? Why? I guess it doubles up with Yarok, but I don't... Okay. You got my board. I don't really care. See, I don't want to mill over this Frogify. We are actually losing 4 life to this. Right? It's 4, right? Yeah. That's probably fine. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh no, they didn't have triple black. They did not have triple black. Gotcha. Okay. I don't see a reason to swing with the elf. There's a chance the mana matters, and I'm not killing my opponent with damage. They have a Gonti. We have a Gonti of our own. We could ramp for something, but this doesn't die to Massacre Worm. So I like that. Kind of want to play this just so I can play my commander. But I feel like doing multiple things a turn potentially is stronger. So we're going to do that instead. Dream Eater, huh? I think we'll take the Omen. And we can run this out. Mill both of us for 4. And then exile you just because you have flash. And the opponents, I guess I could take this. I mean, that's decent, right? And now I can just pass. Yep. So I can, till end of turn, yeah, for the next 2 turns or whatever. They do not go for Massacre Worm, which is interesting to me. Okay, they're going to get 2 snow cards, which are probably just 2 lands, but they... No, there's probably some snow permanents, right? I don't know. Oh, no, it literally has to be a snow land. Excuse me. Alright, I'm dumb. Okay. I respect the way my opponent's playing this, because they're not doing what you would typically assume one would do in a scenario like this. Okay, so I like Soul Shatter. So now I can cast these, and I suppose I will cast this on Yarok. Massacre Worm, when it comes into play, will wipe my board, basically. They play a snow land. This is a 6/4. This is dead. I cast this after the worm comes into play, so I don't lose 6 life. I have a 0/1 left, and they swing for 6, which would put me to 1. Unless they found that ice relic, the Cold Steel Heart or whatever. If they played that, it's a snow, and this would be lethal. Or any snow permanent, actually, right? Yeah, any additional snow permanent would have made this a lethal attacker. Excuse me. So what I could have done was Phyrexian Scriptures Gonti, so it at the very least trades, because it'll still have 1 power as a Death Toucher. This doesn't have trample. I could also Frogify it. I wouldn't want to flash this in, but I guess I could, right? Till end of turn? No. So I'd have to actually cast this on my own turn. Which means it probably made more sense to take the Ashiok there. Other than that, that was actually a pretty cool game. Wow. It's cool to see Yarok. I'm glad, like, every commander is played. It's like Modern. Historic Brawl's like Modern. There's just so many commanders that see play. It's kind of nice. Oh, it's the birthing pod chick. Cool. We have a removal spell. We also have this again. Scarab God seems really good though. No counter spells, but that's fine. We're on the play too. Okay. I never pay attention if I'm on the play. I do in like normal format, like 60 card formats, right? But on this one, sometimes I just don't realize, and it doesn't seem. You'd like to think it's not a big deal. It really depends on the commander, right? If they're Keenan, then yeah, I probably have to not keep this hand if I'm on the draw, because I need like a Frogify or something. Oh look, Frogify. Alright, this is annoying. Do I want to kill it immediately? Kind of. It slows them down. Also, if their whole turn is just casting their commander, I'm happy. No, I feel like killing that buys me way more time than not killing it, with or without their commander in play. I think there's a combo with this. You can certainly untap it all the way up to a certain mana cost, but I don't know what the end game, like the end result of that is. Craterhoof Behemoth or something. Alright, so land, probably Key to the Archive, get rid of Betrayal. I guess it depends what I get, actually. None of these feel super strong. Putrefy is probably better than this Betrayal, which probably doesn't hit anything too strong from the opponent's deck. I could have just gotten rid of the Putrefy. I don't really like the fact that I can't cast it if I lose my key is pretty scary, pretty sketch. Alright. Opponent left up mana, which is extremely annoying. But I suppose I will lead with this here. See what happens. Nothing. Alright, that just snap resolved, which I did not expect, which means I'll just do this. If any naturalize effect, they can just do the thing. But I don't think there's an instant win out of this. I'm not sure. It's also surprising to see them attack with that. I feel like trading with the Scarab God's damage doesn't make a lot of sense. Because I can swing back. If I choose to. Wow. Alright, this feels like an uncommon scenario. I just untap the Scarab God and shut off my opponent's commander. Feels uncommon. Now, I kind of want to play this and leave up the activation. Are we swinging? I mean, what am I stealing? Yeah, we're just going to play this and pass. I can reanimate Murderous Rider before it gets shuffled in to get a 4/4 version of it, which I kind of like doing. Kind of. I'm not even sure if how you hold priority like this. I think it lets you do it, right? It should. No, it doesn't. Okay, I actually couldn't do it. I think I should have been able to, though. I guess I had to hold control. Usually it lets you click stuff like this, but in combat there's nothing like this to click, so you can't really do it. They have an answer to the key, so I have to cast Putrefy now, which is annoying. I suppose I'll blow up this. Doesn't matter too much. Could kill Reclamation Sage to blow up their artifact, but I don't really care to do that. Snakeskin Veil to protect that. Okay. That is adorable. Alright, so we can exile nothing of consequence right now. Do I just develop my commander? I feel like they have a counterspell. It could have just been this that they were holding up, though. Alright, I don't know. I'm just going to cast it, see what happens. Nothing. I'm going to exile my own graveyard here, because they have a creature in their graveyard, and that could be relevant. The cards in my graveyard aren't necessarily that relevant. And I will not swing. Alright. We'll see how this goes. I will take 6. Or 7, whatever. Doesn't matter. Gotta land. Alright, so do I unsummon Vorniclix? I probably have to. This is the top of their deck, right? Yes. So there was an argument to not play this, because I now have shown them something that I'd rather not. Give them. Enters the battlefield, return up to one other creature, Planeswalker on his hand. I can bounce Vorniclix. It does lock down some of my mana, but it takes up my whole opponent's turn next turn, and I'm satisfied with just doing that, honestly. That's fine. Just bounce this here. And I'll leave them with the this here on top. Now that that's not in play, I can actually just run out Ashiok and plus it as well. It does mean they're not really going to play the Vorniclix, but I guess this way I developed a creature at the same time I played an Ashiok, so it actually worked out in my favor. Because otherwise I'd just play Ashiok and minus. There's definitely two different ways to run that out. But playing the land off the top of their deck was probably a mistake. In hindsight, it worked out, but 9 times out of 10, it probably just want to leave a land on top of your opponent's deck. It's weird that it puts the top of their deck in that spot and not, like, at their library. It's kind of weird. Is that Yarok again? Okay. Wow. Huh. Okay. I mean, yeah. We're on the play. We have Thief of Sanity and the spell version of Thief of Sanity, so this is pretty cool. Opponent mulligan twice, so they're not on 7 anymore. Did it really fast as well. Probably after something specific. I don't know. I'm liking these Yarok decks. Alright, well that's unfortunate. It's not a Llanowar Elves though, so... No, let's do this. Oh my. Okay. Where do the other ones go? The bottom randomly? Okay. They do not know this is Dark Ritual. There's not much I can do with it that's like crazy good. Now I can set my opponent back a mana. I would like to develop Thief of Sanity. I have no answer to Yarok when it comes into play, which is kind of a problem. Ritual Slip blows up one mana source, and the other is always a mana source. I don't have an answer, which is a huge problem, though. I'm going to lead with... Wow. This is weird. They're a creature-heavy deck. Duress doesn't feel strong. Neither does Thief of Sanity. They're just going to run out their commander next turn. I suppose this is the highest chance of me finding something to deal with Yarok. Probably. They have to tap down their Gilded Goose to play Yarok, which means I'm getting to hit them. And tapping out to cast Yarok and then it dying to your own spell is something you don't want to have happen. Alright. Opponent invests a mana to do this. Kind of. I mean, they flicker the goose, but they can't block with it for this to sort of be worth it, in my opinion at least. So I believe they will block. Excuse me, they won't block given the scenario they have done. Alright, we'll just prevent them from casting Uro. Probably never cast it ourselves. Decent enough hit, but not like insane. Would have rather found an answer. We can Dark Ritual our commander in play. Maybe we should do that if their opponent's next turn is just Yarok. Getting our commander in play now seems strong. Yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah. Seems fine. Seems fine. It's also more looks at an answer to Yarok. Because now we get to play from their deck. They have 1, 2... Oh, no, they have 6 mana. Okay, I was about to say, they could Casualties of War me, which would be very unfortunate. Alright, they did not hit anything of consequence. That's fine. Graveyard is whatever. Alright, so they can Flicker Cavalier, do it again. The land comes into play, right? Yeah. A Burglar Rat in their deck? That's great. Oh, not really anything strong in the graveyard right now. if that matters. All right, so like I said, we sort of found an answer. I mean, I have to play it right now, otherwise they draw it. It doesn't go anywhere, right? Yeah. Kind of want to lead with Thoughtseize. I could hit them. No, we're gonna lead with Thoughtseize. We're gonna lead with Thoughtseize. Risen Reef and Moldrifter. Don't really care about Moldrifter too much. This would start being annoying very fast. Definitely one of the strongest cards. Let's see if they tap my Thief of Sanity. They do not. I guess I can't swing with it because the Reach Cavalier. Well, I mean, I can still swing with it, but I have to putrefy. I think I'm going to putrefy. Opponent has to be very cautious on how they put something on top of their deck because my commander just steals it, so hopefully they don't mess that up. For their sake, that is. Whatever they do put on top, Thief of Sanity will automatically get, so they have to block it, which is another negative thing for them, if they're paying attention. Okay, so they're letting this happen. Probably, I'm going to go ahead and assume it's deliberate, given our opponent is pretty on their P's and Q's so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to leave a land on top because it's a weak turn cycle for them to do so. So I'll play a tap land and pass. I really like this commander. This commander is pretty cool. I like this. This is great. Hopefully they just play Yarok. Yeah. And then just Moldrifter is not in play anymore. Actually, oh, they can still cast it though, so yeah, that's unfortunate. They draw a lot of cards right now. Are they going to trade commanders? Probably, so I shouldn't swing. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Kind of wish I had Thoughtseize again, though. They can blink Gilded Goose, right? Is that the one you blink? You can blink Innkeeper. This gives you arguably more mana to blink because you get 2 treasure tokens. This only taps for 1, so I think that's reasonable. Opponent has plenty of cards in hand, so I guess we'll lead with Duress. Yep, like I said, there's not really a lot of non-creatures, their hand is not great, and they're drawing a land, so I think we're happy to just let that happen, and we will run out Risen Reef to cycle it. It's not like this is a surprise to the opponent because they saw it on top when I hit them with Thief of Sanity. Cavalier of Thorns, rather. So do we run out Mind Stone? Yes. I don't care if they ramp, and we obviously don't care about the rest of the stuff going on. Now, swinging with this is questionable. They haven't been blocking it. Maybe I shouldn't. I think I'm not. I mean, we are a control deck, and doing the Lantern control thing is... There's some value in that. So just putting a creature, like leaving a land on top, seems fine. Manipulating the top of my opponent's deck when they're not drawing multiple cards a turn and don't have anything in hand that is particularly strong is pretty nice. Now they do have a land that scries, so this is probably the last opportunity I can do this. Oh no, they play the Bajuka Bog though, which is kind of strange. You stop this Siphon, but I think the scrying is a little bit better right now. Thassa can tap my creatures, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to mouse over Thassa because I don't want to give it to my opponent's attention. If there's anything in that. Alright, I'm going to do it. Yeah, 4 mana they can tap my creatures. So they do somewhat have the board. They have enough mana to just like tap my board down and keep hitting me. Oh, these are untapped? Really? Wow. I guess it's not relevant. Alright, this is not good. Ritual Soot does not blow up anything I want to have it blow up, unfortunately. Actually, at no point has it done that, so... Opponent is drawing yet another land. Oh, but it's actually a land that draws cards, so I can see merit in actually playing this one out. I think I'm going to. Alright, they hit a land again. That's kind of hilarious. Soul Shatter makes them sacrifice Yarok. I'm going to lead with an attempt to get some cards, because I might Ritual of Soot. Yeah, we're going to do this. I'm very surprised. Okay, they finally block it, which is hilarious, because it's actually a turn where I again, don't really want to hit them with it. They have a land on top. It's really funny. Yarok doesn't do anything out of nowhere, so I don't feel like I have to do anything at sorcery speed. And this is what I want to kill, but I can't because this doesn't do it. And tucking it doesn't feel strong. And I'm never going to give them Uro, so I'm not going to cast that. Ritual of Soot seems to favor my opponent more than me, because blowing these two up doesn't do anything. Yeah, we just pass. Leaving up commits seems like it makes sense. Our opponent can also just tap something if they're willing to right now. They have to sacrifice a token, actually. Okay, yep. They can sack food because they don't have any use for them anymore. What I should have done is swung before I stole the first land, probably. Because then it makes it look like I'm trying to steal a card off the top that's stronger than what it really is. Okay, they scry, but as we know, there's no means in which to do anything with the scry. And this also means they can't blink their cultivator anymore, because otherwise they wasted the scry. Because they shuffle for lands. So that this actually works out, and I don't care if they get treasure tokens. This has been another very interesting game. So they're not going to blink this cultivator, right? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense anymore. Kind of want to deal with their commander. This doesn't deal with much else in their deck, so I might as well snap this off right now. It gets cards out of my hand for the Castle Lochbane I stole, so I'm not just killing myself for no reason. So I'm just going to snap this off here. This is not particularly a strong play, but I'm just going to do it. Same with Commit. Commit is my counterspell right now, so maybe I shouldn't actually counter or pop that off. Probably shouldn't. I don't really care about Thassa. Do I care about Thassa? I didn't assess this. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, we can just boop, right? Do it now before my turn, because then they don't tap my creatures. And now Thief of Sanity can actually steal Thassa, which is hilarious. Thassa says own, right? No. Exile one other creature you control, return that creature under your control. So if I exile their Risen Reef, I get it. It doesn't exile and then go back into play under their control, which how you would think it operates, but it does not. Alright, so we get to do this. I'm not sure what this breeding pool is doing here. Why is the breeding pool is here, but the top of their deck is the breeding pool, but it's showing me Thassa on the top, which is... Xanathar has a weird display. Very strange. Can't say I like it. Alright, so we're going to take that. Hopefully there's nothing good on top. There really isn't. This blows up a Mind Stone. We don't really care. Gonna run out Thassa. Play a land. And end step. Please don't not do what it should do. Please work. Please. Oh, thank God it does. Alright, we get the Risen Reef. That would be pretty bad. Okay, we also drew a really good card. Thassa is indestructible, so this can't do anything. Yep, that's fine. Gain some life, whatever. We have not displayed a solid way to kill them, so it's pretty reasonable for them to not feel like they have to, like, scoop or anything. But, I mean, slowly we'll get there. I'm kind of rooting for our opponent to not mess up their scry with their castle, because I feel like they did last turn cycle. Messed up their scry value, and it favored us. Alright, there's only one target for this, and I'll just crack it in response. They're just going to target Thassa because it's sending me a message, that's fair. We could crack... Can we activate this too? No, we couldn't have. Not even sure I would. I have a lot of black mana in play. Alright, they did it again. This isn't... You have no way to deal with Thief of Sanity. You're just manipulating the top of your deck on your own turn in the face of Xanathar and Thief of Sanity, which is not correct. They scryed a card on top, so I'm kind of hoping it is just... Okay, it's a land. Smart for the opponent. They put themselves in a scenario where I don't want to hit them with Thief of Sanity, nor do I want to play it with Xanathar. Create a copy of a creature control, except it has an additional counter. They have no creature I really care about. The strongest one being this, but that's just more lands. It doesn't necessarily do much. I'm going to go ahead and still swing, though. There's a decent chance there's still a land after this, and incurring value when I have so much right now seems pretty strong. Mill 2, then Permanent. Yeah, let's do that. Fine. Llanowar Visionary is definitely something I do not want them to draw, because it draws 2 cards here. Fabled Passage. Okay, that's good. Picking up a permanent with this doesn't seem particularly strong. We'll play a land. We'll play a Locket. And we will leave up Brazen Borrower for no reason. It's not doing much. So both of these do the same thing, except if I get a land off of Risen Reef, it goes right into play. Hey, nice. They draw a card we don't care about. They actually do draw Fabled Passage, which is, again, a disruptive thing for their own deck. Which, if, again, they should be doing this castle thing on my turn. Looks like they're finally doing it like that. Okay. So they should be doing this on their own end step. It helps dictate the top of their deck far more effectively. I'd rather them not draw this, to be totally honest with you. But if they do, I can bounce Yarok with Brazen Borrower, and this only triggers once. It's still kind of annoying, but as I've shown, I'm pretty good at manipulating the piles and disrupting people. And we also drew Memory Lapse, so it doesn't really matter what I leave on top. Unless it's an uncounterable hulking beast. Now that we know there's not a land on top, I think I'll just try to get Thief of Sanity to steal something that isn't just a land. Because Xanathar can always do other things. Kogla. Okay. I kind of want to just exile this so I don't ever have to deal with it. I mean, that goes for pretty much a lot of their massive creatures. They actually have really good stuff on top right now. Yeah, we're just going to exile that forever and just not play it. I could play this, or let them just play it and make me discard 2, which I don't really care about. I could make them discard the land in hand right now. But I think I'm just going to let them have this Elderfang Disciple. This is a crazy... this is a crazy game. This is crazy. I wouldn't say I mean, yeah, okay, I am definitely favored, but, like, it's a slow process. It's not like I'm just completely over the hill. This scrying is quite strong. I do get to see what they put on top. Okay, they scryed both at the bottom. A Neoform. A Neoform. Is that a problem? No, because they have to sacrifice as an additional cost. So this is probably where they scoop. Ooh, an Upkeep Scry. Alright, opponent's finally big braining this thing. Hopefully they just keep that on top, because that'd be funny. I think it's safe to assume whatever they do have does get countered at this point, given that I have so many cards in hand and I'm not casting anything. So, kind of unfortunate for the opponent here. Craterhoof Behemoth is, in fact, a counterable card. They top-topped. Wow. Okay. Omen. Huh. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna... I think we counter anything they do. Omen does draw 2 because of Yarok. And it's gonna draw the Neoform. So I suppose I just won't let that happen. They might just scoop now, though. Yeah, that's definitely the turn there, because at that point, was that the first counterspell I cast? I guess other than Sword of Commit. Yes, I believe that was the first counterspell I cast in the entire game, which is crazy to think, but given that, it's safe to now assume I have more counterspells like coming, and from here it's just going to be a huge uphill battle. Nothing they do will probably ever resolve. Disdainful Stroke, Absorb Energy, which is basically a cancel. The discount's not super relevant. They have 3 counterspells in hand. I guess 2.5. They have so much mana, there's no way I'm going to intervention anything. I have a Disruptive Bounce spell. I can't really memory, because giving my opponent that many cards seems like suicide. And if anything, goes horrible, I guess I have a Kogla. And we're drawing multiple cards a turn with their cards. Yeah, that was a cool game. Oh, nice. Alright. It took 40 minutes to play 2 games with Xanathar. This commander's really cool. Hopefully I explained that game out reasonably. I feel like I did, but I don't know. I'm sure there was a line I didn't see, but I like how we played that. You could argue slightly too conservatively for a couple of those turns, but that's my strong suit. I just play super conservative, and I play control decks, so it's nice to play like that. Oh wait, was that 3 games? That might have been 3 games, right? It was Yarok. Whatever, Yarok. Yeah, Xanathar. That was 3. Okay. Edgar. Okay. Alright, Edgar is annoying. Last Attempt Plating is kind of like a poor man's Heroic Intervention or Veil of Summer style card. Well, actually not Veil of Summer. It doesn't help cards on the stack. Now against black-white, this might be pretty solid. You can ninjutsu the token, which is cool as well, with that one ninja. But he's not my commander or anything, so it's not like that's a reliable thing. I just kind of like this card. I'm giving it a shot. Fine. Creature-based deck. Answers to their commander at the same time. I like it. I like it. Alright, probably the best one drop in their deck. I'm going to do this. Wait, what? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Opponent played that. I can't say I was expecting that. Okay. Okay. So do I counter this? When it dies, it flips and that nonsense happens. Which I guess I'm fine with. Oh, I don't have double black. Okay, that's annoying. I don't have double black. I probably should have countered something. I should have paid more attention. Well, I can't really let that happen. So I guess I won't. I think I'm just gonna trade off a token. This card isn't really doing much outside of this exact thing, so... why not? This is probably not going to work in my favor, because I don't have double black. That really sucks. Yeah, well, I gotta prevent that. I should have Tail's End that, actually, instead. That was a mistake. Definitely should have just Tail's End. But, I mean, if I don't find a black source anyways, I'm dead, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that doesn't matter either. That doesn't matter. Yep, alright. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, actually. Wow. Actually could have somewhat stabilized. I'd have no answer to their commander from then on, but certainly not just dead, though, so that sucks. At least it was fast. No, I'm not going to keep this. Nope. Yeah, I'll keep this. Yeah. Alright, opponent doesn't want to play against Xanathar. Or they, like, mulliganed and didn't like their hand. I don't know. It's, maybe they just, like, stayed in the game to see if I mulliganed a bunch, and then they're like, oh, I'll just win, because they mulled before. It's weird that people waited till when he did, but I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty kind of a toss-up. I don't know who was favored there. Corvold seems like a pretty strong commander, so I really don't know. I'd argue we're decent at playing off the top of, well, I guess both of our decks. So playing against a discard commander seems pretty fine. We have a Frogify too, but I mean, anything we keep is not reliable as they have a lot of discard spells, so. That is also pretty solid. Okay, definitely going to look for lands. Waste not. Alright, opponent's doing what we call the setup. Yep. Alright, if they have a targeted... Ooh, you know what? Are we going to Dimir Locket right now, or are we going to Essence Scatter? No, they're going to take Essence Scatter, so I can't. They're just going to, like, duress Thoughtseize Inquisition. Just take it, and I can't deal with Tiny Bones. So it doesn't really matter. Mind Rot. Alright, so you're not strong here. And I like my lands. Of all my answers to things, I suppose those are the strongest two. I don't know. I think this is an abysmal matchup, though. Could be worse, but doesn't feel very good. The Waste Knot is particularly, like, completely egregious. In actually, the Reclamation is too, because they can just recur their stuff every turn. This might just be impossible. Xanathar doesn't even do anything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just didn't care. Alright, so they get this, I guess, right? And then I get Blood in the Snow? That's so weird. Yes, okay. I have Blood in the Snow, which they know I'm not going to cast. I top decked a pretty solid card. Hey, that's funny. I don't feel like this is doing anything for me, though, is it? I can't foretell it. Could you imagine foretell off the top of your opponent's deck? Yeah, we're gonna just... I don't think what I do matters. I think we're just... We have to, like, get really lucky. Letting this just resolve is kind of the same as trying to... you know what? No, let's do this. Okay. You, and I guess you? I don't know. I think this is not going to work in my favor. No matter what I do. It's cool to see Gutmorn. I can't say I've ever seen Gutmorn before. Honestly, the best thing they've done is just this Waste Knot. The Waste Knot is just absurd. It's just completely insane. Or you want it back? There you go. That's funny. Sure, whatever. Hey, that's funny. They discarded it for turn, and then like I get it back, or I get to pick it up, and then they go back to discard and stuff. Alright, I'll do it again. A Gitrog monster does this on your discard. When you go to discard and you pitch a land and you're back up to more than 7, he'll like have you discard again. Alright, I mean, we amassed some cards. I'd argue this was probably not a good idea for the opponent to do, but they did it. This bounces this, but hitting them for 5 is completely useless. I'd like to cast this, but I also kind of want to just do this. I feel like this is pretty solid right now. Opponent actually has a horrible hand. Wow. I guess I'll take my card back. Or out of their hand, rather. Vraska's Contempt. Alright. Wow. This is kind of crazy. My opponent's hand is actually horrible, and there's no board. I will cast this for 0, so they cannot kill my commander. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. 6, 7. So they can kill my commander. But I think if that is their entire turn, we are not upset. We are not upset if that's what they do. Are we upset if this? You know what? I'm going to just do it because there's a good chance they have, on average, weaker things on the top. And that is certainly weaker because now they just take one thing and not deal with this. They probably take Zareth because they pretty much have to. Wait, what? Why are they doing this? What are they doing? Why do they do that? Oh, combo. I didn't see that. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. As long as they don't have a continuous answer to my commander, I suppose putting it into play is pretty strong. So I will do as such. They discard Zareth here. Hostage Taker is also extremely reasonable. Probably Zareth, though. Much more of a threat. They take a card I never in a trillion million years would take. I don't understand. Okay, now they just snap Zareth. Tiny Bones, yeah. I can't steal Tiny Bones with this. I'm going to pitch a land here because giving them mana doesn't seem like a big deal. Yeah, Waste Not is just the MVP so far. It's just completely insane. Alright, what do you got on top? You have Liliana, wow. Alright, well I'm definitely going to cast that, but I want Tiny Bones off the board first. Or at least attempt to do that. And then I will swing at Davriel, which they will definitely just block, because it doesn't make sense not to. Now, playing Liliana means they don't get Liliana, which means we're happy. Plussing Liliana means they get a card out of it, basically. I'm not going to play this land. I could have played this and killed the zombie. The plussing this means they draw a card. And getting to the ultimate is kind of difficult. I think I'm just not going to plus it and just have it there to disrupt our opponent. I should have absolutely played this pre-combat though. Absolutely. I'm gonna just get rid of that. That doesn't matter. Here goes Waste Not doing some busted things. Wow. Okay. Opponent's playing very fast. Everyone's been playing pretty quickly today, which is kind of funny. I'm just gonna chump block. I'm just gonna minus Liliana. I'm just gonna activate it. It's fine. Alright, what do you got on top? An answer to things you do. Alright, so we're gonna try this. Oh wait, that doesn't work, does it? Yes, it does. It just barely works. I had 2 cards in my graveyard. I should have absolutely paid more attention to that. That was a mistake. They did not activate Mobilize District. Oh, it only cost 3, not 4. Right. So they actually couldn't. I want this in hand because the Waste Not. This has no targets. I mean, giving it to our opponent, more likely they're going to hit my Liliana. Alright, we're going to surveil. Wait, what? Okay, that's... Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Sure. Go? How do they use this removal spell? Probably want to deal with Liliana. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Alright, they just did that to deal with Liliana. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. And then they can kill my commander. Or will attempt to, at least. Alright, I'm going to scry, not draw. Oh god, good thing I did that. Okay, I'm going to Shadow's Verdict, so I exile this and Gutmorn, which could be a problem. Wait, where is Gutmorn? Is he already exiled? How did that happen? I have no idea how that happened. I cannot remember. Makes sense, though, because they probably would have done that earlier. So they can keep looping that, which is kind of annoying. Do I Yeheni's Expertise right now, or do I expect them to just chump block? I don't really care if they block. I'm not really doing much if I... This is really annoying. Fine. Opponent is playing really fast. I like this. It's kind of crazy. 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 Alright. No, we're just going to let them have that. That's fine. It's not doing anything. Cycle a Mind Stone. The zombie can't block, right? Yep, can't block, and it only swings once and then it dies. So I guess I could just have it sit there till it eventually deals with their stuff. But it looks like we're kind of turning the corner, no matter how you put it. Especially if they're just blocking over and over. They do not. Do they think they can deal with this? I'm not sure. I'm going to Shadow's Verdict, though. Because I'm not going to deal... Wait, if I do this, what happens? Creature or Planeswalker? No. We're going to just do this. And exile their commander again. Because they seem interested in doing this. And I'm fine with that being a thing. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't... I mean, if that was the only thing they were doing, then I guess it makes sense. This does cost life, but that was probably the strongest thing they could possibly do, and we did beat it. They had Gutmorn, Tiny Bones 3 or... Well, I guess it's 6. They had this like 6 times. Waste Not, Reclamation. Yeah, that was a crazy, weird game. Xanathar is a host of very strange things. So if we Blood in the Snow, naming... It's only your graveyard, right? Yeah, this wasn't doing anything at all. I bet my opponent regrets giving me this now with the Gutmorn. Certainly would have been nice to deal with Xanathar, huh? I mean, at least slow it down a turn. Lands in hand for Waste Not, because I'd rather them, if it's a Mind Rot effect, I don't want them to draw a card when I discard this with the Waste Not. But I guess they're drawing a card anyways with Tiny Bones, but the fewer the better. And getting away from this ability is nice, just not having played my lands so they can't activate this and I die. But they were extremely far away from doing that. They were at, what, 8? Yeah, no, there's no way. Oh, interesting. Interesting game. I like the way we played that. Alright, so we only lost like 1 game so far, I think. Okay. What is this? I think I've played against this once. 4 mana, 2/3, first strike reach. Beginning of combat, put X counters on another creature where X is their power. And it gets haste. So it's basically a Sarkhan full, the original Sarkhan Planeswalker, +1 ability. That is like all it is, really. That doesn't seem very scary. Actually, Sarkhan would just be almost strictly better than this because he has other abilities like Active Treason. Alright, so... fine. We're on the play again. We have blue mana, tap land, just play this, target them. I love playing Magic and having to read cards. It's such a nice feeling. You know, it's not like when I play Modern, like I know every card, ever, every game, every deck. You know, save very few exceptions. Okay, I want to steal this with Hostage Taker, and the sooner the better. So we're going to do that. Because the sooner I do this, the less likely they are to have answers. Definitely Prey Upon effects are the scariest things, so when there's no other threat in play, this is a nice ability. And it gives us an excellent turn next turn. Nice, we got it. That's massive. It's dummy thick, if you will. We get to play this. We get to scry. Do we leave up a... no. Stealing red-green cards is not strong. I kind of want to leave up this. Yeah, scrying just one is probably not better than just leaving up a counterspell. Because their commander here is actually quite strong. Okay. It turns into an... Okay, wow. I've never seen that card in my life. Cool. Guess we're expecting that next turn. I will probably trade. What does this do? What else does it do, rather? I can't activate it, but, I mean, if I named green with Cold Steel Heart... Okay, I guess. Yeah, let's just do that. That's fine. Seems like a huge swing, massive swing in my favor. We also get to develop our commander. Yeah, we're gonna just do that. I don't want to leave up a counterspell for this. That just doesn't seem worth it. Oh, okay. Alright. Kind of annoying. Oh. Okay. Never mind. So I don't want them to cast this. So we probably should cast it ourselves. And might just use it as a blocker. Depending on what else is coming here. We can just do this, actually. Yeah. Because now they can't really swing. Oh my god. Oh man, Xanathar is crazy. This is great. Wow, I've only played against Xanathar, I think twice, and one time it didn't do anything. It played like the Garuda, no, I don't know, the mill 6 thing. Each person mills 4, and you get like an even cost card out of it. They like played that, and then they like reanimated a clone to play it again, and then they scooped. And then there was another time I played against it. Oh. Oh no. Alright, dude. Alright. Never mind. Alright, so this is probably the third time I played against it. This is gonna be spicy. Oh no, they have a turn 1. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's my least favorite card too. It's the card I have 0 respect for. Actually, they have 3 solid choices. Yeah, I was about to say, it's not like they just got my best card. They actually had reasonable choices. It wasn't just like a clean one. Please don't have a mana rock? God. Alright, so they have, like, God tier opener. We do not have that. We did draw a good card, though, but we didn't draw any surprising card. We are going to cycle this. It is significantly worse when our opponent knows about it, and we would like to draw lands. Also, looks like they missed a land drop, but so did we. They're missing mana, so this seems reasonable. Alright, yep. Don't really have anything else to do, though. Alright, opponents played 2 lands. They've drawn 2 lands in a row. It is painfully unfortunate. I can't respect, nor will I respect a counterspell, so I'm just going to play my cards. If they have them, they have them. That's fine. I mean, there's more than just one. Yeah. That is not one I would like to have seen. That's not good. They can't play their commander, though, so I guess that's a plus. Okay. That is quite surprising in every way. That is extremely surprising, actually. We just simply minus that. Wow. They can't replay it and deal with Ashiok, so this seems all very strange to me. I don't think I like doing that. Must be a reason. I don't know what it is. We'll find out the hard way, I'm sure. Painful way, rather. Okay, we will not find out what's going on. That was an extremely confusing turn to me. I don't really know what that was about. Seems weird. But okay, I mean, we take those. We just pass here. We have a counterspell they don't know about, but it can't counter this. Oh, wait, I guess it can. That can kill this and then discard my counterspell, which I'd rather it not do. So, unfortunately, I will try to deal with this. I'd rather not. I kind of want to deal with this, but right now it's actually not doing anything. If they do cast it, I actually just get to kill it. I can just minus it with Ashiok, and it has no use anymore. Alright, I lost my Frogify. I can steal this, but that doesn't seem good. What's in their graveyard right now? Nothing? So doing that doesn't really do much. I kind of want to not trade Ashiok with this when it's not doing anything, and I have no counterspells in hand, so just do this. Playing my commander is weird when I want to steal my opponents with Bolus's Clutches. And you cannot counter things, so this doesn't do anything when this is in play. I think we'll just do this. Does that mean I want to counterspell? I suppose it does. Alright, that's fine. Pass. Already a very funky board state. Can't counter spells, so that's extremely unfortunate. That is probably the best thing of all time for them to top deck. Okay, this seems... I don't know what this is about. Again, our opponent's doing some weird stuff. They're trading for a token and activating counter spells again. I don't know. This seems weird to me. Seems very weird. I'm going to counter this because they have mana on backup, so I can't tap out for Bolus's Clutches. Okay. I guess we're 2 seconds from just losing, so... I mean, if that is a counterspell, we're in a horrible position, but I guess we have nothing else to do, so we might as well try to... Wow, it just worked. Okay, I don't know what's going on. My opponent's playing this so weird. So far, they've played kind of into 2 things that they knew about. Oh, was that not a Foretold card? I thought they had a card that was Foretold. I guess not. I mixed it up. I thought that one card floating there was a Foretold card, and that's why they were doing what they were doing. But I guess not. Okay, so they're doing even? Exile the whole board? I feel like this is not... You just exiled your own commander for really no reason. Like, this whole scenario in which this died to my Clutches just didn't have to happen. But it did. Alright, well, I guess it's my turn. Never mind, they have Tail's End. Or Quench, sure. Same thing. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been the same thing if I drew a single land there. Alright. They can recast theirs, but again, they know about an answer in my hand to it, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. I actually had this in my deck for 2 seconds, but then I realized it doesn't really play with the strategy at all. It's a decent enough effect, but attacking your opponent's graveyard is not very strong, unfortunately. It works nicely with Ghost Quarter, I guess. Because I can't search for a land. Hopefully they don't have another counterspell, but it's not... I mean, it's likely they do, right? I mean, at the very least, they can flash this back, though. 1, 2, 3, yeah. They can just flash that back. The fact that this token has hexproof is pretty strong, though. It's funny, we've developed so many tokens left and right, back and forth. Might have certainly been a bit stronger, though. Memory Deluge is not in my deck. It probably should be. I must have just not realized that or thought about it. It's kind of hard to keep track of 99 cards. Alright, I lose my 2 sweepers. Okay, that's fine. So they're on like this discard graveyard hate strategy, which is strange to me. This does reset the board for your Xanathar, though, so it's not like completely useless. They named Unicorn. That's great. That's great. Alright. Alright. Certainly going to kill Ashiok. Hopefully they don't activate Ghost Quarter in response. Otherwise we actually lose a land and we can't search for one because Ghost Quarter doesn't... Ashiok doesn't let you search. Alright, so I'm going to plus... In mind controlling, Ashiok does not... I just don't want to do that. And pass. This is a reanimate, but it's only my graveyard, and it's gone. There's not many creatures in my deck, though, so... Alright, I just pass, that's fine. We have certainly exiled a lot of things out of them. Of all of these cards, I think my favorite one to take is a token of this. Because these, they can bounce back to their hand potentially. If they bounce this, they don't get it. And stealing a land is... yeah, we're gonna... No, we're just gonna swing first. Do I respect anything crazy? I don't know, do I? Okay, okay, that's fine. We actually don't have much spot removal in our deck. It's funny, our Xanathars are like just locked out. Alright, so we're gonna plus Ashiok locking out theirs, and we can't really cast ours. At least I don't want to go for it. What have we exiled so far? Their Ashiok, Soul Shatter. They did this. It's any card in exile, not just the ones you've exiled. Right, yeah. I guess this, right? Why not? The holding priority, I can't learn anything, unfortunately, because Ghost Quarter is holding priority for them, so I don't know what's in their hand. We will exile... What the heck? Okay. I mean, sure. And then on my end, I guess that. That's a card. Opponent's playing some cards. That's a cool one, I guess. Can't say I've seen that before. Okay. I'm gonna just disrupt this without activating, without minusing Ashiok. Oh wow, that doesn't do anything. Actually, never mind. It's not oh wow. Yeah, good game. I could have just let that resolve and then just minused it, so they weren't really getting anywhere except obviously disrupting the repeated plus because I have to spend time to minus. But if I did do that, they could get rid of the divide by 0 in hand instead of the Xanathar, right? And then they have a 6 mana cast on their commander because it's from hand. But I have an 8/8 in play, and I'm swinging for 10. And I bounce. They go down to 5. If they replay it, they're forced to block. Otherwise, they die. So I could literally just not do anything about this. Well, no, I'd still actually have to bounce in that turn cycle. Because they could go to 10. So bounce it, swing for 10. Put them to 5. They can't really recast this. Well, they can, just to block, and that doesn't feel great. In the meantime, I'm developing Thief of Sanity, and I guess this guy, because my enchantment lets me cast things. So what does this do? 6 mana 5, loyalty, draw 2 on a +2. +2 is draw 2 cards and put one from your hand to the bottom. The -2 is you get a dog illusion token, and its power toughness is your hand size times 2. And then the -10 is swap your hand and library. I don't even think I'd like to do that. I feel like I would deck out, right? So wait, swap your hand and library. Huh. That's weird. That could, like, can't they just kill you in this format? You just draw them all and you don't have omniscience. So it's safe to assume my opponent probably has omniscience, or is just playing this as a card draw engine. I don't know. Kind of cool. We're not running the extra turn effects, because I came to the conclusion they're not very strong unless you're doing something like you have a strong board presence already. Otherwise, you're just sort of cycling them, which is decent enough. I mean, a card that basically 0 mana cycles, right, lets you play an additional land. That's not terrible, but I don't know. We don't have enough planeswalkers to really get anything out of it. Commander's already kind of expensive, and spending mana on your opponent's spells doesn't leave much in the way for you to tap out on your own turn for an extra turn effect that isn't really doing much. So I'm not running any of them. But nice. Nice to win the mirror there. Feels good. They were playing cards that I assessed, or came to the conclusion that I would indeed not play in my version, so yeah. Okay, weird commander. So I guess we'll keep a weird hand for it. That's fine. They're on the play. So hopefully Essence Scatter does get to hit their commander. Ugh. I hate it when when non-green decks get like the early mana rock. It just makes you feel bad. It's not as like, you know, it's not like a war crime like Soul Ring, but it's still pretty annoying. I think I'm just gonna syncopate that. Can I? I cannot. Alright, I'm just gonna... I think Lazotep plating should come out. Yeah. It's a way to protect my commander, certainly. There's better cards than that to do that, but it also doesn't seem super relevant to do that. We did not draw a land, but I'm not going to sit by and let them resolve that commander because it slowly kills me, somewhat. Kind of. Sort of. I would like to do something about that, so... Sort of. I mean, they can't just recast it. So if they have another mana source, they can just recast it. Oh, we drew a land, though, so never mind. At this point, I almost want to just let it resolve so I can do that on it. Let's see, can I... No, I'll syncopate. Why not? Opponents let me counter it, I will do as such. I will block the Knight, I will not block the Dissenter, but they're not swinging with the Dissenter. Interesting. Those are both pretty solid. So I'll play that, and I'll pass. Wash Away. Works on their commander. Bastion of Remembrance is quite annoying. Ha, that card got nerfed. Get wrecked. I'm not taking 4. Alright, so we're going to play this as blue. Yeah. Given our hand. And we will pass. Could have, like, taken a chance and just hope that was a land, but no. Opponent really wants their commander in play, which is funny. Because when it resolves, I'll just turn it into a frog. Oh, excuse me, I'll turn it into a fish. Oh no, don't mill a land. Oh. Mill a land, of course. Alright, you. I think they should have been swinging a bit earlier. That's an insanely good draw. We're going to just cast that. Because eventually they'll run out of answers for it. And then it will just sit there and block the board for the rest of eternity. the commander cost is insane. Yep. So we get to frogify that, basically. And you know I will. Oh, hey, we got the actual Frogify. It lets me leave up a counterspell, which is pretty huge. So I will, in fact, do that, and I will pass. No. Yes. You know what? They could have named Planeswalkers. I still counted that. Well, no, but... So, if that resolved, they get a 2/2 zombie. They drain me for 4. This falls off. I have an answer to it again. I can recast this. This actually doesn't go anywhere. So, it's certainly reasonable to let this resolve. But, I guess that was the crux for our opponent. They didn't want to continue. Probably didn't have a ton of answers to the Scarab God, so it's kind of hard for them to get around him. In fact, it might be completely impossible because they might not have any way to do it. I really like this deck. This deck is really fun. It can only get better too, because I'm certainly running weird cards. Excuse me. I'm sure there's people out there that would love to run more lands than I do. Totally reasonable. The Lazatep plating did not feel good at all, so I'm going to take that out. What else was I not super big on? The Frogify effects are probably underplayed a little bit. I knew about 2 of them. I was not aware of the 3rd one until recently, and I certainly like it a lot. The 3-mana counterspells were alright. They're alright. I'm not like huge on them. I mean, you could argue I just won the game with one, but like, I don't know. The 2-mana counterspells are sort of where you want to be, like in really every format in Magic. 3 and up, it starts to get a little hard to have them work while also not fall behind because of the early plays from your opponent, unless you expect everyone to be playing a slower deck, which in this format I suppose they kind of are, right? Anything that's too fast you're gonna lose anyways. You know, that's good luck. But Ritual of Soot might have been a little questionable, because when you're trying to play against or like have cards that are good against these decks that do in fact try to kill you fast, you want to be more in on it, defending yourself from them, than just a couple cards. Otherwise it really isn't worth it. Like, oh, you know, I'm playing against Winota and I only have 2 cards in my deck that are very solid about dealing with the board that Winota makes, and the only reason I'm running those cards is to deal with early aggression. It's not really worth it, because 100 cards, you know, good luck. But it's still not terrible. Languish is probably just better. Extinction Event is certainly good outside of aggro stuff. Crux of Fate as well. Yeah, Ritual of Soot is... I mean, even Scriptures is really good. I like Scriptures. I think Scriptures is underplayed as well. You can put the counter on your own commander, or really anything of yours, and it doesn't die, while your whole board of your opponents dies. And if they don't have an answer to this card, they actually can't develop on the board the turn you play it, because it'll just blow up instantly to the Scriptures. So it kind of locks your opponent out from playing things for a whole turn cycle, which is very, very strong. A sweeper that prevents your opponent from casting creatures the next turn is really good. Because then you untap and the board is cleared. You got your counter spells, right? Very, very, very good card. And incidental graveyard hate, I guess, if that's your thing. Ashiok is really good. Scarab God is really good. I like Zareth mainly because he's got flash outside of the ninjutsu. If he did not have flash, I don't like him. But the fact that you can flash him in at your opponent's end step and then maybe reanimate something spicy that they weren't expecting to deal with is really good. Which is another reason to not exile your opponent's graveyard, because you can't do anything with that if you do that. Kiora Best of Sea God is basically the new Agent of Treachery. So that's, I mean, if that card was good, Sea God is certainly as good. Imbolus's Clutches is quite literally an Agent of Treachery, except when this dies, they get the permanent back. Not many answers to enchantments, but there are some. Casualties of War is one of them. Anything else to say about it? I don't know. I don't think so. Protection spells for your commander. Not as important when you have counterspells to protect it already, right? They act as a universal answer to everything, is what a, like, Dissipate does everything. It's a removal spell, it's a combo disruptor, you know, it's just stack removal. You know, removal when things are on the stack are what counterspells are. So creatures, enchantments, planeswalkers, all that. So they're basically protection spells already. I like that. Syncopate might not be good enough to be played in this format. Sometimes it's questionable. Unless it's super early, it's not really great. Which is why I'm not a fan of soft counterspells. We got quenched on the Xanathar mirror, which is quite surprising. But I guess thankfully that's not what maybe, you know, that didn't cause us to lose a game. All right, what do we add? What do we add? We got one card to add here. What would I add? I have liked the Discover the Formula. When every time I cast it, it feels so good to do that. Discounting things. It doesn't hit lands either. So you're guaranteed 3 non-land cards off of it that are all discounted. And you have 6 mana to actually cast it, so you're not upset that you didn't hit lands, usually, at that point. I don't like mill stuff. Not really. Compulsive research? No. Oh, that one person was playing Divide by 0. Could run the Divination that, like, exiles a card from your hand and you can replace it with a different one. I like the ability to remove a card that may be really bad in a particular matchup from your hand and get a better one. I like Devious Cover-Up, too. Games go long enough, you can see the same card twice. Chemist's Insight's decent too. Some card draw. Oh right, the instant speed drawn from Dreams, or the whatever it's called, the Dig Through Time card. What's it called? Oh god, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Memory Deluge, right, there we go. Said I wanted that in there. I'm gonna put that in there. Certainly a good card. Yeah, no, I liked everything. Hostage Taker, Gonti. The creature package is good, not many creatures. And again, we got away with not a lot of spot removal, because you're relying a little bit more on the counters and sweepers. So I did like that, and I liked how it worked out. So yeah, I like this deck. I like how it's iterated. Syncopate would be one of the cards I take out, but for now I suppose it's good enough. I think I'd replace it with a probably just another 3-mana counterspell if I were to take it out, even though I just criticize them. But yeah, I think I'm happy with it. I like the list. I like how it played. I like playing it, and yeah, if you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about the deck, and let me know what you want to see next. And I will see you guys next time, and have a happy New Year's. Peace.